Come along with me for a day of swimming with manatees in Crystal River, Florida. We met our captain named Walter at 1 o'clock on the boat dock, and he gave us our wetsuits to change into. Then we met our guide that was going to get into the water with us. Her name was Lindsay, and she swims with manatees every day. So we went out onto the water for about 15 minutes and it was glassy and beautiful, but it was a rainy and cloudy day. So it made the water look really, really dark and intimidating. And then we were told that it was time to go ahead and get in the water. The water was 72 degrees. So as we lowered ourselves in, even through the wetsuits, it was really cold. And I had no idea what to expect. So, right away when we got in the water, we encountered a really small manatee that was completely covered in barnacles. And she was really friendly and she wanted to interact with us. I was so surprised because I just didn't know that manatees had personalities like this. You couldn't see through the water very well because the visibility was not that good. So you'd be swimming along with snorkel gear on and you could see down into the water maybe 2 to 3 feet in front of you. So by the time you saw a manatee, you were pretty much right up on the manatee. And the second one that I saw, I could not stop myself basically from running into him, and he could not stop himself from running into me. So I will never forget the look on his face as I was going up against him, and he was scared of me and I was scared of him, but it ended up being perfectly fine because I don't swim very fast anyway, and neither does he. Um, and then we went into a cove and we saw a couple of baby manatees with their moms. And then we called it a day and got back in the boat. But we decided not to take our wetsuits off just yet. We wanted to give it a little bit more time and see if there was another opportunity to swim with the manatees. So we went down to an area, a canal, where the manatees all gather together when the water gets cold so that they can thermoregulate. So basically what they're doing is they're cuddling in the water, like they're all huddled up together to conserve body heat. You're not allowed to go into that area because it's a restricted zone. However, if there are manatees that are swimming outside of the restricted zone, you can interact with them. So we got in and we saw a few different manatees outside of the restricted zone. And then at the very end, there was a manatee who was so friendly and liked me so much and wanted to hang out with me and wanted to interact with me and wanted to be right up in my face. He was actually pulling my hair into his mouth, and I kept having to pull my hair out of his mouth. Um, and he kept using his little flipper to try to grab me. So he was reaching out with his flipper, so I held his little hand. And it was so much fun, you guys. And it was really important to me and my mom and the guide and the captain to not interfere with their natural behaviors at all. And I feel like we really did not. We just got in the water, and the ones that wanted to interact with us did, and the ones that did not want to interact with us did not. And that was perfectly fine. We were able to watch them in their natural environment. And if you ever get the opportunity to come down to Crystal River and do this, I highly recommend that you do it. And I highly recommend the company that we went out with called Go Local. They were really, really nice. And then we ended the day with a boat trip back to the boat dock. And my mom and I went out to dinner. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.